Today we're working on the Ossipee Central 662, the rolling chassis, and discovered that the springs have been taken out. It was singing a little weird, so I took a quick look, and yeah, the springs aren't in it. So I gotta find where the springs are. Probably in the box with the parts. Probably labeled too. I just haven't gone through that box yet.
Those two back bushings are shot.
Yeah.
Look at how it's moving there.
Yeah, I can see this one here. Yeah, this one's even worse. So let me bring the camera around so we can demonstrate this on camera.
I think it needs springs.
Well, yeah.
Bushings.
Yeah, that bushing block is shot.
Yeah.
That's a 1/4 inch of play. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You ran the wheels off of this thing.
The others look all right.
Well, this one looks pretty wore out too.
Well,
so we just need the back ones.
That's the back ones.
So that's actually pretty good. So yeah, the other ones,
you can make those.
They look okay.
Yeah, the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is I have plans. I have the drawings for these things, so I can drop the drivers and make new ones, new pieces. So what's the front here doing for suspension?
The front is fine. I think if you just replace those bushings, the suspension's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The springs aren't critical. And wash the thing really good.
Yeah, it definitely needs washing. Well, there's this bearing block's got some wear, and so does this one here from the top where the suspension has been rocking into it. So
I think most of it's
in the back, but I think I probably need to make 4 bearing blocks. It doesn't hurt to make some spares anyway. Yeah. So we've removed the ash pan that was right here, and the ash pan is well, it's not in the greatest shape. It's wore out too. Yeah, it happens after years and years and years of use. I mean, this thing was built in 1962. Yeah, so the really nice thing is the plans are available for this engine online. So I have the drawings for these parts and for these parts here, I think, or at least an earlier version of them. So that's a really encouraging part about having this engine. There's a lot more product support than there would be for most little steam engines like this.
Not bad for over 60 years old.
Yeah, not bad at all for over 60 years old. Got your pressure washer handy?
Yeah.
Let's pressure wash it real quick before we put it in the Jeep. We'll put it in the Jeep wet, but yeah, oh well. It'll be fine.
We can do Hank's engine too.
Yeah. There we go. This has got to be the greasiest chassis I've ever had to deal with so far in my life. But the good news about it is that this has got to be the greasiest chassis I've ever had to deal with in my life so far. Why is that good news? Well, because the grease means I'm not dealing with rust. I would much rather deal with grease than rust. Even if we do have I can't believe the wear on that block, but that's a lot of wear. That's a lot of running. Man, he must have had a blast with this thing over the years. But you know, it's time to give it an overhaul. I think the chassis needs a bit of an overhaul now. Nothing wrong with that. So I'll cut some new bearing blocks like this one here and this one here. I'll probably replace this one and this one as well, and maybe do a full set, just because. Now this one here doesn't look, this axle doesn't look nearly as wore out as the rest, but I'll bet it could stand a refresh. We've got this, see this thing here that is connected to the front axle. The pony truck actually does something. See that pin going up and down? And there's a mechanism in it. See this equalization, and that's connected to the front side of drivers. That is what a front truck is supposed to do. And I'm just elated that it's not just along for the ride. Because you wouldn't believe the amount of locomotives of this size that pony truck's just along for the ride for. So, yeah, that means this is a well-engineered engine. Of course, I knew that beforehand because of who engineered it, who built it. What do you think, Bill?
Well, it's cleaner than it was.
That didn't take much.
Sawdust and leaves and detritus stuck in there, but
A whole lot of grease and steam oil. Yeah,
I think once you get it running, it'll do good.
yeah, I think so.
It'll look good on the Millbrook.
It should. I still won't pull any pellet trains with it.
Never know.
I don't think it would. I don't know, maybe it would, but I'm not going to try it. I don't think.
You might need an electric helper.
It might, just to hold the train back. Anyway,
Be worth trying.
yeah, maybe
But
once or twice.
That's worn.
Yeah, that's.
That's worn out.
I'm seeing wear on these here, and well, definitely these.
Well,
That's kind of obvious. I mean, you could throw a cat through that.
yeah.
So, yeah. And I think it's a good opportunity just to make all new bearing blocks for it.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 new bearing blocks. And that way it's all refreshed.
Yeah, and if you're smart, you can do split boxes so you don't have to take it, pull the wheels.
Well, that's already going through my head. Split boxes.
Good idea. Let's put it in the car.
Let's do that. Let's get that manual out of the way. Guess I don't need the strap. They will use the strap back here. Oh, yeah. This hasn't been on the channel yet. This is Hank's Maxi Track. It's a little Ruby. 4 3/4 inch gauge. 1 inch scale. Well, not really 1 inch scale. It's a narrow gauge engine, so it's probably 1.5 inch scale or something like that. But 4 3/4 inch gauge anyway. Neat little engine. Very, very simple engine. But you know, simple's good sometimes. And it's a good looking little engine. And they can both sit here and drip dry in the back of the Jeep.
We'll definitely want to put something around there. You know,
I'll strap it in.
strap it over the top of the chimney, and
Yeah.
then just lightly at the other end.
Yeah. There's the rest of most of the parts to the 662. And then we're going to shove the tender in on the side up front here.
Hold tight.
There we go. We'll tie that down.